So you guys might be in for a little bit of a treat this week. Now I have a little bit of extra time, so hopefully I'll be popping off 2 videos this week instead of 1. Now, let's just get this out of the way. I had a lot of problems with the Flash movie. There was a lot of cringy moments in it. I don't know what the Ben Affleck Batman was doing it. Certainly don't know what the hell Wonder Woman was doing in it. But I have certain ideological problems with Ezra Miller, all the other controversies that he has swirling around him. I also don't necessarily like his brand of comedy or antics. I know some people are entertained by that. I'm really not. But one of the things that I can universally say was pretty freaking awesome was the fact that it had my generation's defining Batman, which was the '89 Batman, or Michael Keaton, and he returned in this film, and damn, he was freaking badass. Now, was this version of Michael Keaton part of an alternate universe? Obviously it was, and it's getting into some of the things that happened in the comics, which is basically the storyline of the Flashpoint paradox. Nevertheless, I think his Batman was amazing. Michael Keaton just looks really freaking menacing in this Batman. And this is an older Batman. This is an old, griddled, raspy, freaking, life has happened to him Batman, more than usual, so to speak. And I thought it was really awesome, and when I heard the announcement that they were going to be making a Hot Toys figure, I jumped on it. I was fully on it. The concept photos don't do it justice, and then having this thing in the studio today really, really excited me, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this one. Today we're going to be reviewing a Hot Toys version of the Batman, the modern suit version, the 1/6 scale figure. Let's take a closer look. As I mentioned before, Tim Burton and the design team of the original '89 Batman really designed the cowl around Michael Keaton's face. And this one looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is Michael Keaton, like old Michael Keaton. The cowl, it just looks amazing here. They really, really did a lot in terms of the overall planning and art design to sculpt this thing, and it is absolutely outstanding. I love the faceplate here. He's got a little smirk on his face, very indicative of Michael Keaton, just all the characters that he plays. He has so much range. He's really underrated in Hollywood, and this head sculpt is absolutely outstanding. Now, I will say this, when it comes to the midsection of this piece, I think there was a little bit of a quality control issue, particularly where the cowl snaps into the bat symbol. Now, it's very odd. If you notice, there's a little gap there. Now, the armor is absolutely outstanding. I'll get back to that little gap in a moment. And it is modularized. It is a modern version of it. I definitely love the bat symbol. It stands out. But just take a look at the gap there. It doesn't fit very well. Now, I know that they didn't go with the traditional yellow bat utility belt, but I actually like this one. It's black and it's got silver tones. And again, it's such a shame that they couldn't get the bat symbol that taps into the cowl just right, and it doesn't fit that flush. And that's really my complaint with the midsection here. It's a missed opportunity, unfortunately. I think they should have designed this better. Now, they did something pretty extraordinary with the lower section of this piece in terms of the overall trousers. Now, it is unibody. It's one solid portion of whatever that is, latex, but it is so flexible and yet looks very form-fitting. The knees are done very well. I love the sculpt in the boots, and here is a really great thing. They did an incredible job in the ball joint system in this boot and actually hid the seam line very well. So you're going to get some remarkable posability and malleability out of this figure. It's amazing what they did here, and I hope they continue this trend in other figures. Now, you don't necessarily have to run out and mirror this piece, although I have to say the cowl on the reverse side of this is pretty remarkable. I mean, it's just very cool looking. Now, the cape, unfortunately, is not as impressive as other figures. I'm not saying that it's bad, because it does have some interesting wire mesh, more so than most other capes, and we'll explore the alternate cape in a moment. But I don't know, sometimes it feels like it's a little bit off for this figure. Nevertheless, it is high quality material. I just think that maybe they should have done something a little bit more innovative and interesting with this. Nevertheless, we have it. It is what it is. It's not the best cape, but it's not the worst either. So, it is what it is. You don't have to mirror this piece. Now, I do love the base because they did it a little bit more intricate than normal. Now, one of the things I like about it is that it's very bright and vibrant, and it just recalls back to the '89 Batman, even though this is the modern suit. Now, this does have a light-up feature, and you can use a USB or batteries, whatever your preference. Now, very similar to the Supergirl, this is not a gimmick. It actually lights up very brightly. It's a shame that I wasn't able to demonstrate this to you because of the time of day, and as you can tell, it's pretty bright outside. Now on the lip of the base, the design is very industrial and it does read Batman modern suit, and in looking at it, it's the exact design of the Supergirl base, so they're trying to make them uniform. Now you also get an alternate head sculpt, so to speak, which is really cool. So if you have an idea of, just like you see in the film where he takes off his cowl and you have a dedicated sculpt of Michael Keaton, or the older version of Michael Keaton, you certainly have it. That's definitely Michael Keaton, right down to the imperfections in the skin, his blue eyes, and of course the white hair. This is a very good rendition of Michael Keaton, and I think it's very successful. It was very hard to me to figure out how I wanted to pose this figure, if I wanted him with the cowl or with the Michael Keaton bust. Now this is really cool, and this is part of the, I guess, exclusive special, I'm not sure, extra crispy, but we do get this bust, which is the actual cowl, and it does have a stand that has the bat symbol, which I think is really cool. So if you want to do some epic poses where you want to have the Michael Keaton head bust or head sculpt on the actual figure and then holding the cowl, you can certainly do so here because it does detach from the base. And this is probably one of the coolest things, and look at how menacing it looks. This thing is just beautiful. Now this modern suit of Batman has a couple more gimmicks, or a few tricks up his sleeve, so to speak. And it's basically the bat wingsuit. I mean, I guess you can equate it to Robert Pattinson's Batman wingsuit, except that it's a lot more bat looking, so to speak. And this is the bat suit, or the cape, where he actually extends out his bat wings and he's able to like kind of soar in the air for a little bit. So we do have this. I personally wouldn't use this thing because I don't know, it's too big for me, but we definitely have it. In addition to that, you get 2 additional face plates. You get kind of like an open looking faceplate, and then one that's a little bit more subdued than the smirk that I have imposed with because I really like it. The tones are run very well. These aren't magnetic, so they're not necessarily difficult to put in, but they do plug in. Okay, so if there is any kind of like suction or anything like that, it's going to be a pain in the ass to take off. Sadly, they're not magnetic, but whatever, you could deal with it. I don't imagine you'll be interchanging these too much. Now, he does come up with a cacophony of accessories, which is really cool. The 3 batarangs, and in addition to other devices, the grapple gun, the shurikens, and of course it does have the purse system, so you do get the tool with that. And of course that what was it, that Motorola cell phone, flip phone, where he actually kind of like decodes the device, or the jail cell that Supergirl's in, which I thought was probably one of those hilarious moments in the film. But nevertheless, you get a lot of stuff here, so there's definitely value in all of the accessories, and I think these are really cool. And finally, rounding out the last bit of accessories are 4 additional hands for various poses. Now, the thing about this one is that it doesn't come with too many hands, but the hands that it does come with have several functions for several devices or several weapons that you may want to use. So just keep that in mind. I know that some people want to have a hand for every single kind of like device. That's not what they went for here. It was really minimalist and straightforward, just like the overall design of this batsuit. And I think that really goes with the overall motif. So just like the overall motif of this figure and streamlined, I'm definitely going to give this a holy grail piece. It is so freaking awesome, and it's nice to have Michael Keaton back in his role, back in this universe. It's just so cool. I have to say, Supergirl and, ironically, Batman were, for me, the most exciting things about the movie. I could care less about The Flash. I'm not saying I don't like him as a character, I just don't like Ezra Miller's version. And you guys know what I mean if you watch the whole Arrowverse. There's another awesome Flash that is on TV that, you know, should have gotten this role, but whatever, I don't make those decisions. Nevertheless, if you're a Batman fan, especially if you're a Michael Keaton fan, definitely put this one in your collection. Alright everybody, so that's my official review of Hot Toys version of the Batman from The Flash, the modern suit, the 1/6 scale figure. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Route Desert Reviews.